Okay, here we go. Unit 4, Lesson 9. Using trigonometric ratios to find angles. Let's work backwards to find angles in right triangles. Okay, 9.1. Once more with the table. A triangle with side lengths 3, 4, and 5 is a right triangle by the converse, not the shoe brand, of the Pythagorean theorem. What are the measures of the acute angles? Fun fact about Converse: Michael Jordan wore them in college. So if you look at the 1982 NCAA shot to win against, I think it was Georgetown. You will see MJ in Converse, not Nike. Anyway, yeah, he was wearing Converse in 1982. But what is the converse of the Pythagorean theorem? So here's a quick lesson on what converse means in geometry. So converse in geometry. So the geometry definition of converse. So if you say if A then B, the converse switches them. Basically, if B, then A. So this is the converse. So let's write out the Pythagorean theorem. So if you have a right triangle, then A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's Pythagorean. So if you have a right triangle, then A squared plus B squared equals C squared. The converse is if A squared plus B squared equals C squared, then you have a right triangle. See how we flipped them? That's what the word converse means. Again, it's not Michael Jordan's shoes in college, but he is the GOAT. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I was hoping Kobe might get there and match him, but MJ is the GOAT. LeBron came close. He got to more finals appearances, but he wasn't as successful when he got there. Jordan is 6'4", 6" in the finals. Anyways, Pythagorean, converse, not the shoes, the geometry definition. Okay, so what they're saying is a triangle with side lengths 3, 4, and 5 is a right triangle by the converse of the Pythagorean theorem because 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. The question they're asking you, though, is right here. What are the measures of the acute angles? This is the question they're asking you. Okay, cool. What are the measures of the acute angles? So let's do we'll put a little box here. We'll start doing this more and more in class. And we're gonna call it the steps. Let's just call it steps. I called it the step summary, but steps is simpler. So steps. Number 1, draw a right triangle. So you gotta draw a right triangle. Okay, easy peasy. Now, they're saying, 3, 4, 5. All right. Easy peasy. Let's draw a 3. I'm gonna try to make it a right triangle by using the images that bleed through the pages. That way I don't even have to go get a protractor. All right, so that's 3. I'm gonna call this, I like to use some color, so we'll call this A. Ah, shoot. Guess we're going blue. We'll go A, B. Why do I do this? I think it's more interesting. Okay. There's a 3. Let's do a 4. I'm gonna try to get it as close to a right triangle as I can. Now, this one is going to be C. Like this 4. Now, if this is 5, we're good. Yeah, it is. Cool. So I drew a right triangle. Sweet. Now, automatically, if you did a 3, a 4, and a right angle, I will know our triangles are congruent because of side, angle, side. That's from Unit 2. So if you do a 3, a 90, and a 4, we have the same exact triangle. Okay, so remember what the question asked. What are the measures of the acute angles? So what you want to do is set up your finish. So angle A equals and angle C equals. Now, how do I know that those are the angles we need to solve for? Well, because they said acute angles. So there's an acute angle and there's an acute angle. All right, let's start with A. So we're gonna color in A.
Good morning, Pumas. Today is Wednesday, so you have classes 2, 4, 6 with 5-minute passing periods. That's 2, 4, 6 with 5-minute passing periods. Have a great day, y'all.
Okay, so we drew our triangle. Next up is color angle A. You could have started with C, but I'm just gonna start with A. So color angle A. The next thing you gotta do is identify 3. What are those 3? Well, ADJ, hypo, and op, from the perspective of A. Okay, so let's do that. Let's use this red pen right here. So there's A. Hypo is the easiest. It's always across from the 90, so you can label that hypo. Opposite's the next easiest. It's always it's the side is 4 that does not touch the angle. So this is considered OPP. And lastly, this is ADJ. Adjacent means touching or bordering. So we got all 3. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Okay. Next up, to solve for angles, you want to choose choose the two given sides. So you want to choose the two given sides. So that would be the opposite side and the adjacent side. That's what we were given. Now, I know this is 5, but let's just work with O and A. You could have worked with O and H, or A and H. So you have some choices here, but you need to choose two given sides. The next thing you need to do is rewrite so, ka, toa. And I'm going to do that right here. So, ka, toa. Now I've decided I'm going to use the O and the A. So you have to make a decision. Is it so, ka, or toa? Well, there's the O, there's the A. So I know I'm going to use this, toa. Now once you select toa, you need to know how to apply it. So here we go. T, tan, parentheses, equals, op, divided by adjacent. Now, I haven't really taught you this yet, so this is new. You're gonna put A right there. Normally we put a number, because in the past we had an angle and a side. Now we just have sides. So you put the angle that you colored in. So angle A. So you will say tan A equals opposite 4 divided by adjacent 3. And you'll just keep this going. Tan A equals. Use a calculator, it's easier. 1.333, and coincidentally, I need you to use 3 decimal points. So if tan A equals 1.333, what do you then do with that information? Well, what we're gonna do is inverse tan. It's also known as tan -1, 1.333, and that will equal angle A. So here's how you do it. Clear this out. You hit second tan 1.333, close your parenthesis, and that equals 53.12 degrees. So you can then say angle A equals, let's just go 53. We'll go to the nearest degree. So angle A, you now know, is 53 degrees. Now, if angle to A is 53, how do you solve for angle C right here? Well, that one's pretty easy. We'll do that here in red. You've got the triangle sum theorem. That states that 90 plus 53 plus this equals 180. If you subtract 90 from both sides, you'll get this plus this equals 90. So the triangle sum theorem allows us to conclude that the two acute angles are complementary, which means they add up to 90. Why? Because 90 plus 90 equals 180. So then this one's pretty easy. You just gotta go 90 minus 53. 37. This is getting a little wonky, but we'll say 37 degrees. Angle A, 53 degrees. Angle C, 37 degrees. 9.1 is done. All right, 15 minutes, one problem. That's why I love geometry. You gotta go slow. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was 7. Last step. Triangle sum theorem. All right, next up, 9.2 from ratios to angles. Okay. Let's see where they're going. All right. Find all missing sides and angles. So this one, you gotta find C, angle C. Gotta find angle B. And you have to find angle or side AC, which we'll call A. Little a. All right, so set up your finish. You could even do it right here. A equals, or AC equals. Leave some room to write an answer. Then you're gonna say angle C equals and angle B equals. All right, so now you've set up your finish. It's over here. Kind of like this blue pencil for this. And one of the things I want to teach you as a math teacher is just how to like write as neat as you can so that you can organize your thoughts. So, first step, let's color in our angle. Why don't we start with C? Now, the same steps are going to apply. The same steps that we had here. So all these same steps still apply. I mean, the triangle's drawn for you, but we colored in angle C. Still got to identify 3. So adjacent, hypo, op. Choose 2 given sides, run SOHCAHTOA, and then run inverse of one of those. So, all right, here we go. Angle C. First step is to label your sides. So there's angle C. 9 is going to be considered opposite. Does not touch C. 10 is hypo. Okay. As of right now, I was given the O and the H. Identified 3. Let's choose the 2 given sides, the O and the H. Okay. Let's run SOHCAHTOA, and you have to choose. So I have the O, I have the H. There's the O, there's the H. I'm gonna run with sine. So what you need to do now is know what this S is. So you say sin, parentheses, equals O, OPP, H, hypo. So sin, parentheses, equals op divided by hypo. Now, we don't know C yet, so we're just going to put C right here. So sin C equals op over hypo. This just comes down, so you'll say sin C equals, now you plug in, op, 9, hypo, 10. That also equals 0.9. Okay, so you know that sin C equals 0.9. So what do you do with that? Well, you write this. Sin -1 0.9 equals. And this is how you're going to find angle C. So So here are the steps on the calculator. Second sin 0.9, close your parentheses, equals 64.158. 64.158 degrees. That is angle C. So why don't we just round down to 64 degrees? So angle C equals 64 degrees. Okay? Now we got angle B over here. Remember, this plus this equals 90, kind of like the 53 and the 37. So you just go 90 minus 64 equals angle B. So 90 minus 64, 26 degrees equals angle B. Start chipping away at these, 26 degrees. So 26, 64. And last but not least, we've got to solve for this A right here. This is best done with our old friend Pythagorean theorem. So lastly, run PT, which is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A squared, that's why I chose A, plus 9 squared equals 10 squared. A squared plus 81 equals 100. Subtract this to both sides. These will cancel. You're gonna get A squared equals 19. Next up, you gotta take the square root of both sides. Square root of A squared is A. Square root of 19, that's pretty easy. Second, x squared, 19, 4.358. Let's just call it 4.4. So AC is 4.4, which we defined as A. So this one's done. Next one I'm just gonna work, I'm not gonna talk. Just compartmentalizing my problems a little bit. Okay. So, we got the 4 and the 7. Let's solve for E. Color it in. Boom, boom, 1, 2, done. Next up, identify adjacent, opposite, and hypo. So 4 is OPP, 7 is hypo. Next step, choose 2 given sides. I guess I am talking through this one. O and H. We're going to use SO. Sin, E equals op, hypo, which equals 4 over 7. 4 divided by 7, 0.571. So sin E equals 0.571. So we've got to take inverse sin of that number. So you just rewrite it. Sin -1 of 0.571 equals angle E. So you just kind of move this over, do sin -1. That'll equal your angle. So remember the buttons. Second, sin 0.571, enter. 34.82 degrees equals angle E. let's round up. Since that's an 8, we're going to say 35 degrees equals angle E. So this is now 35. Meaning this is 55. (90 minus 35) equals 55 degrees, which equals angle D. That's triangle sum. Last but not least, we got to get this side right here. That's the missing side. So that's pretty easy. Let's call it B. Why B? Well, PT. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we just run it. 4 squared plus B squared equals 7 squared. 16 plus B squared equals 49. Subtract 16, subtract 16, these are out of here. B squared equals 33. Take the square root of both sides. Square root of B squared is B. Square root of 33, second, wait, clear it out. Second, second, x squared, 33, close your parenthesis, equals 5.74. You just round it if you want to 5.7. This is 5.7. Done. Found all sides, found all angles. Okay, here we go. Next up, let's go with, I'm going to solve for J first. Just red for once. Okay. So, triangle's drawn, you colored in your angle, you got to identify 3. We're going to call this C. We also got to get angle G. Alright, so identify 3. Talking about angle J, because I colored it in. 5 is off. 6 is adjacent. Why? Because this is the hypo across from 90. So, underline your A, underline your O, run so, ka, toa. You got the A and the O right there. A and the O, so you know you're going to use toa. So here we go. Tan C equals O 5 A 6. Tan C equals 5/6. So tan C equals 5 divided by 6 equals 0.833. Now what do you do with this? Well, you run tan -1 0.833 equals angle C. What is inverse tan 0.833? Let's find out. Second tan 0.833, close your parenthesis, equals 39.79. 39.79 degrees equals angle C. That's a 7, so you round up. So 40 degrees equals angle C. Jeez, J. What am I doing? J. My bad. These are all J's. Huh. See? Everybody makes mistakes. So angle J equals 40 degrees. Go ahead and write that in. There's 40. That means this one's 50 right here. Why? Because 50 plus 40 is 90. Plus 90 is 180. That's the triangle sum theorem. So I'll try to sneak this one in. I'm gonna write it in red. It's 50. Need some new pens. Alright, so that's 50. That's 40. Next up is C. You gotta solve for C. That's just pretty simple. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 5 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. 25 plus 36 equals C squared. 25 plus 36 is 61 equals C squared. Square root both sides. Second, x squared 61. Enter. 7.8. Is that right? Yeah, 7.8. So C equals 7.8. Check that one off. We got side, 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 angle, angle, angle. We found all. So these are the steps. Sometimes they give you just a sentence and you have to draw. Or sometimes they'll give you a triangle already. So step one, you either draw a triangle or you use what you have. You always want to color in an angle. So color in an angle. Then you got to identify 3 things. Choose your 2 given sides, run SOHCAHTOA, and then you run inverse of one of the 3 trig functions. Alright, it's getting a little wordy. I love this problem. A good rule of thumb for a safe angle to use when leaning a ladder is the angle formed by your body when you stand on the ground and hold your arms out parallel to the ground. That's a key word. So your arms are parallel to the ground. So safe ladder angle is you stand right here with your heels at the edge of the ladder, put your arms out. This triangle that's formed represents a safe ladder angle. Now I have a story to tell you about heat tape in Tahoe. I put a ladder like way too steep because I had to get up on a roof to put heat tape on to melt the snow. And I was not using this kind of safe angle right here. It was way too steep and I realized it was unsafe. So trigonometry can save your life. And I immediately got down off that ladder. I looked at 9.3 as a reminder. I was like, oh yeah, gotta put your arms out, standing straight up. So anyway, number 1, what are the angles in the triangle formed by your body and the ladder? So this is pretty cool. For me, I had students in class measure me. So we measured my arm length, which came out to be 30. So 30. And then I think it was 63. Yeah, I think that was 63. So for my shoulder down, it was 63. Now I'm just going off of memory from yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was 63. All 3 classes had a little bit different measurement, which is kind of scary, but anyway, this is a right triangle. And you got to figure out this angle, and this angle. Because that's what they're asking. What are the angles in the triangle formed by your body and the ladder? All right. So why don't we name these? I do 2 marks for this one, 1 for that one. So let's call this A, let's call this B, and let's call this C. Hopefully you can see this okay on my video. All right, so we got A, B, C. Gotta figure out A, gotta figure out C, and that's it. So set up your finish, angle A, angle C. I always recommend setting up your finish early so you can focus your brain. All right, so let's try C first. Coloring in my angle. This is OPP. This is ADJ. You got the A and you got the O. So you're gonna run so, ka, toa. And you got the A and the O. So you're gonna say A, O. We're gonna use tangent. So you'll say tan. Remember your angle, that's why you color it in. C equals 63 over 30. Go ahead and compute that. 63 divided by 30 equals 2.1. Then you go tan -1, 2.1 equals angle C. And that equals second tan 2.1, close your parentheses, equals 64.5. So we're gonna call this 65 degrees. So angle C equals 65 degrees, meaning that angle A is 25 degrees. All right, so let's break out this triangle just so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so we've got a right angle, you got a parallel with a parallel. It's right in the numbers. So 63, 30, 65, 25. Remember this is B. We call this one C. All right. So now you got this a little clearer to help us answer number 2. Alrighty. What are the angles in the triangle formed by the ladder? This is the ladder right here. This is the ladder. Angles formed by the ladder, the ground, and the railing. There's the railing. All right, so this is pretty cool. They gave us your arms right here, parallel to the ground. That's what these arrows represent. Now, the ladder can also be considered, and this is a keyword from Unit 1, a transversal. So the ladder is a transversal cutting across parallel lines, meaning that this 65 and this will be congruent. So you can just go at 65. So this and this are congruent. They're known as alternate interior angles. You could have also assumed that this was a right angle. So 25 plus 65 equals 90. That's another way you could have done it, but I like the transversal way just because it reminds us of this Unit 1 concept. So if that's 65, that's 90. I would go triangle sum theorem to determine that this angle right here
Happy Wednesday.
is 25.
This is Mrs. Chevalier with your morning
All right,
announcements.
that's
and
it.
pop trivia.
Have a good
Today
day.
you have blocks 2, 4,